terrorism. People ought to be put in jail and left there for a very long time and be taught a lesson.
So when they do it to a Tesla dealership, it's really bad. But when they do it to the halls of Congress, we should pardon them. Is that your position?
No, I've never. I don't
Are
support.
you okay with the January 6th pardons?
I know you haven't been around for a while, so let me educate you about my position about January the 6th.
I'm so sorry.
Let me educate you.
No, you don't need to patronize
you don't need to. You don't need to be condescending to me. So let me educate you about my position. You want to attack me? Let me finish. Let me finish.
Let me finish. Let's do this January 6th and then narrative.
I'm sorry you're getting emotional.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're a condescending person who hasn't been paying attention to what I do.
Stop, guys.
So here's the issue. I didn't support what happened on January the 6th and was one of the first Republicans to call it out. I don't support the pardons. I have repeatedly, just like my friend Ashley here,
our agencies that are taking care of, I don't know, paying attention to the bird flu, Ebola, these things that actually can have detrimental impacts on the American people.
We have Ebola in the United States?
Well, we are helping the world be a safer place as well. Scott,
I mean, on the bird flu, we did. Biden slaughtered all the chickens. I don't know if there's any left to kill.
Oh my
on that note,
come on, Scott.
It was a bloodbath. You all love that word.
You can laugh about this, but these are things that people are actually scared about. I mean, measles is coming back. There's so many things that are happening that our federal government
You're saying
makes sure.
Elon Musk caused the measles?
I'm saying what is happening in this government right now with Donald Trump appointing.
You saying Donald Trump caused the measles?
I am saying that what is happening in this federal government under Donald Trump, allowing Elon Musk.
This salute trutherism is outrageous. This is the most.
Do it right now on TV.
This is the biggest
So
conspiracy
do it right now on TV.
It's crazy.
If you think it's normal, if you think this is a normal way to greet people, do it right now on TV.
Good morning, YouTube, and happy Friday. So today I want to talk about Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings is a CNN commentator, political commentator. He used to work with Mitch McConnell, and I don't believe he's ever served like in regards to the Army or ever served in Congress, but he has been in political circles for a really long time. Very right-wing and very intellectually dishonest. I'll be nice. It's Friday. So Scott Jennings, I'm going to put in a couple of clips regarding Scott Jennings. I think the thing that I see the most regarding Scott is that he's very intellectually dishonest and he likes to indulge in hyperbole. And this is what I mean. He'll say, someone will say, well, that's unconstitutional, or that's not the way that we should do things in regards to immigration. And he'll go, oh, okay, if you want to support illegal immigrants who are murderers. And you're like, what? Like, who said that? And so the conversation that I'm kind of alluding to is they were having a conversation regarding the Aliens Act. The Aliens Act is an act of 1798. It's a sedition act, and basically says that certain immigrants can be, if we are in this, the Republican Party has always been a party about they love the Constitution. This is the law and order party. If that is the case, a federal judge told Donald Trump not to do something that he did anyway. What happened to the law and order party? What happened to the party that the Constitution should be treated like the Bible? So with Scott Jennings basically yelled at, I think she's a Clinton official. So she's a Democrat, a more left-leaning person. And I have a couple of clips in here regarding Scott Jennings. I have Scott Jennings yelling at this woman, which was extremely inappropriate. First of all, it's unprofessional. You're at work. Second of all, the woman merely asked a question and you got triggered and you decided to yell at her. This is a separate issue. In this video, I want to talk about two issues regarding Scott Jennings. I want to talk about the Aliens Act, what I just kind of briefly talked about regarding the immigrants, the undocumented immigrants that were sent to El Salvador. Donald Trump basically defied a judge's order and shipped them to El Salvador after the judge basically told him not to. Like I said, there was 2 planes. Apparently the Trump administration is saying that one plane was already in the air and the other plane was, I guess, set for takeoff. What Donald Trump is saying is that no one was on that second plane, but do we believe Donald Trump? Okay. So basically he defied a federal judge's law. Some people are saying we're in a constitutional crisis. Some people saying we're not there yet, but we're very close. I believe when you start defying federal judges and then you have your borders are on TV saying he does not care what judges say, we living in some scary times. To literally get on TV and say, as the borders are, I do not care what judges say. We have 3 co-equal branches of government. I think people keep forgetting this for some reason. They think Donald Trump is the president, he rules all. We do not have a king in this country for a reason. We have 3 co-equal branches of government. We have the legislative, that's Congress and the House of Representatives and Senate, that's the Congress. We have executive, that's the president. We have judicial, that's all the judges, Supreme Court, federal judges, all of that. A federal judge, which is in a co-equal branch, told the president to not do something and he did it anyway. And the Law and Order Party, the Republicans who promises they love the Constitution and all of the laws, is basically backing him anyway, backing Trump anyway. And so that was one conversation that they were having on CNN. And I was like, Scott Jennings, like, he was literally being intellectually dishonest the entire conversation, because it's like, Scott, you've been on CNN for years, talking about how it's imperative that everybody adhere to the law and the Constitution. And I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Everybody should adhere to the Constitution and laws and all of these things. But now that it's not politically expedient for you, or now that your party is behaving lawlessly, now it's, well, he's the president. He's the president. He's not the king. We don't have a king. And you should be able to say that unapologetically. And the fact that you can't, that's problematic. So there's that. The other thing was him yelling at this woman. Like I said, she is a Hillary Clinton official. Apparently she worked for Hillary Clinton, helped Hillary Clinton get elected, I believe, or she was a big part of Hillary Clinton's campaign, whatever the case. But Scott Jennings yelled at this woman. And I think the most disturbing thing is that I've been watching like news clips where people that's on the right, even women that's on the right, that's kind of supporting him yelling at this woman. And I'm like, where are we in this country that we see a man yelling at a woman because he have a political difference, and we're just like, oh, okay, well, he's on our side, so that's okay. That should never be okay for anybody. First of all, nobody should be yelling at anybody. They're in a political setting. Like, they're in a professional setting. They're at work. So why are you yelling anyway? We can have a conversation. If you believe in your point, if you're strong in your convictions and you know what you're talking about, what you yelling for? I never understand people getting upset. Why are you upset? If you, like, when I'm debating, I have a woman, like I told you guys before, I have a woman at my job that's a huge Trump supporter. I never yelled at her. Yell at her for what? I can effortlessly make her look stupid. And I do. We have conversations all the time, and she say things all the time, and I'm like, well, you know, that's kind of wrong, and I can tell you why. I don't need to yell at her, and we can still go to lunch and everything, because I know my position. I'm confident in my position, and I'm not angry at you. To be extremely honest, I kind of feel sorry for you, but, you know, I ain't mad at you because it's like she say things, and I'm like, I'm not gonna say, I almost said her name. I'm not gonna say her name. She'll say things and I'm like, yeah, that's not right. And she like, well, what do you mean? And I'll explain it to her and she'll be like, well, he's the president. It's kind of like they get to the point where they're defeated. And it's like, well, he the president. Okay. Because it's like if I can go live during one of these conversations, I wouldn't even do it like that. Because she's actually a relatively decent person. She just don't know what she's talking about. But anyway, back to Scott Jennings. He yelled at this woman and it was cringe. It was super cringe. Like, first of all, why are you yelling? Second of all, your point is still not valid, because what she was basically saying was people, now this is what I will say, because they were talking about people send Tesla dealerships on. That's stupid. That's stupid. It's illegal. It's immoral. You should not do that. I'm not going to say hate. I don't hate anybody. I think Elon Musk is a terrible human. I really do. I think he's a really terrible person. But setting Tesla dealerships on fire, that is dumb. It's illegal. It's idiotic. It's unproductive. It should not be done. It should not be done. And here's the thing. You set the Tesla dealership on fire, he's still running around ruining the country. That's the reason why it's unproductive. It don't do anything. So it's kind of like, he's the richest man in the world. I understand his stock is doing really horrible. I understand that like from a business perspective, things are not going well for him at this very moment. But he's still the richest man in the world. He's still got the president basically trying to sell his cars on the White House lawn. He's going to be fine. And so setting his dealerships on fire is not going to make him stop ruining the country. Like, so what's the point? So I don't agree with that at all. But Scott Jennings, what these people should go to jail for the rest of their lives and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, if only you had that same energy when Donald Trump pardoned 1,500 or 1,600 terrorists, domestic terrorists that ran in the Capitol. Now, he said it was wrong, but he didn't have that fire. He didn't have that energy. He didn't match that energy that he had for people who are setting Tesla dealerships on fire, which again is wrong, illegal, immoral, idiotic. I don't have a problem saying that at all. But you didn't have that same energy when Donald Trump pardoned those people who ran in the Capitol. And that's all the lady was saying. So for him to get so triggered and yell at her like he was a crazy person, I'm like, first of all, calm down. Second of all, you're at work. Like, third of all, she's right. Because you said it was wrong, but it's Donald Trump should take it back. You didn't do anything. It was kind of like, yeah, it's wrong, but he's the president. And that's what they do. When they get backed against the wall with facts, when they get backed against the wall with a legitimate argument, they well, he's the president. He's the president. He's not a king. And you should be able to say that. And there's been several conversations that Scott, like I said, he operates in a very intellectually dishonest way. Because it's like, oh, if you just want to support illegal criminals, it's like, here's the thing about the undocumented migrants that Donald Trump put on a plane and sent to El Salvador or wherever, like El Salvador, I believe. But here's the thing. People are not saying that they want illegal, I hate saying illegal. Humans can't, listen. I had a legit argument with a woman in Mariano's, a grocery store, if you guys, because I don't know if you guys have a Mariano's in your town, your city, or whatever. I literally had an argument. This woman was just talking crazy. And illegals. First of all, humans are not illegal. Crimes are illegal. Acts are illegal. A human can't be illegal. It's so demoralizing when people say that. Because it's to kind of minimize and like, it's to denigrate a person, a human. What they did coming to this country is undocumented is illegal. Them as a person is not illegal. So to say the illegals is just bigotry. It's hatefulness. That's what it is. You can say undocumented migrant, you can say undocumented person, but to call somebody illegal as if their life is not legal, it's disturbing to me every time I hear it. It's like, it don't trigger me, but if we're face to face, if I'm in arm's reach of you, we gonna have the conversation. And if you want to do something else, we can do that too. But you know, I'm working on myself. But sometimes I think you can talk with your hands. So there's that. That's okay. Because sometimes it makes me angry when people, because you think you're going to yell and scream in my face. That's not going to work out for you. It's not. It's just not. But there's that. Okay, so Scott Jennings is horrible. When I see him on CNN, I'm just like, there's been a couple of times, maybe 2 out of the 100 times that I've seen him, that I'm like, oh, okay, he made a good point. I can see where he's coming from. But 98% of the time, I'm like, this man, this man. So I wanted to share those clips with you guys, and yeah, my dogs are going to get up and they're going to start barking and running around and acting crazy. So I am going to stop the video here. I just kind of wanted to share these clips. I wanted to talk about these 2 stories regarding the El Salvador, like the undocumented immigrants that were sent to El Salvador, and Scott Jennings just basically yelling at this woman, which I thought was pretty disturbing. And so take a look at the clips. Have a phenomenal Friday, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.